Today I thought I'd give you some advice on how to get rejected from Oxford. For those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Ann Wand, founder and director of the Oxford Method, and my consultants and I, we help students get into universities like Oxford and Cambridge and various other Russell Group schools in the UK. So I thought I'd preface this by giving you a little bit of a story. Getting into university, as you know, is incredibly difficult for a lot of reasons. You have to maintain a certain grade point average. If you're doing your undergrad, you're going to have to do your UCAS forms. You need to be able to demonstrate that you have the academic wherewithal in order to attend these prestigious universities. So I want to give you an example of why a particular student did not get selected to Oxford, and we can discuss the reasons why. So I was talking to a president from a university some years back, and he was talking about a student that had applied to Oxford who was really interested in studying C.S. Lewis. But unfortunately, her application was rejected, and he couldn't figure out why. So I got to thinking, what would be the reasons as to why somebody from a prestigious university would not get into a place like Oxford? Well, there's a couple reasons for this. The first one is that she needs to ask herself, is her research original? C.S. Lewis is a household name. It would be like studying Greek classics and wanting to focus on the Iliad and the Odyssey. And within that, you need to ask yourself, if you're going to give like a very generic name, you need to have a topic that helps you to stick out from the massive literature that already exists. So once you figure out how your research can be original, you need to also think about another step to this, is how this research, this individual research, could benefit the academic community. The reason being is that when you're working with academics, when you're trying to impress a potential supervisor, they want to be able to look at that work and be like, oh my gosh, you're filling a gap in already existing research. If you come to the table saying, I want to study something generic, broad, that lots of people have already written a lot about, it gives the impression that you haven't really done a lot of the homework and that you don't really have something unique to bring to the table. So, circling back to C.S. Lewis. If C.S. Lewis is something that you do specifically want to focus on, and there is potentially some writing of his that you think, oh my gosh, this is something I really want to explore in more detail for the next 3 to 5 years, ask yourself if there is potentially a theoretical thread or something within your particular degree, your branch of academia that hasn't been studied before. Something new, something unique, something that other people haven't considered up until this point. And then once you talk about that unique component, how you're going to fill that gap in academia, then you can say, oh, well, I'm going to be able to study this through these particular specific writings done by C.S. Lewis. And then explain the reason as to why those specific things with C.S. Lewis are relevant to the unique theoretical thing you want to focus on. And it's that angle that's going to help you stand out within a crowd. If you think this is useful and you'd like more tips, make sure to follow for more. And as always, leave a comment. See you next week.